Hey everybody, Aletha here. I'm gonna come on real quick. I want to show you what I'm doing. I am taking these seeds. This is stinging nettle, and I'm taking the seeds and I'm putting them in a brown bag for them to dry. The nettle, when they're young, in the early part of March and April, the leaves themselves are best to be harvested early in March and April. However, as they continue to grow, because we try not to destroy the plant, as they continue to grow and it grows above, above knee height, they start to seed. And these seeds right here, guys, are very, very, very contain a lot of vitamins in them. And so, just like chia seeds, you can take these seeds and sprinkle them across your cereal, your yogurt, or whatever you want to sprinkle them across, or just eat them. I guess raw or just without anything. But I'm just showing you a quick processes of what I'm doing. So I'm putting it in a brown paper bag, and I'm going to just let it dry. And so that's stinging nettle. I have a post on my YouTube that I can show you the link to, that talks about what I do with stinging nettle. I'm very blessed to be living in the Pacific Northwest. I really am, because there's so much grown here, wild and medicinally and edible, and trying to be sustainable and trying to understand what's around you, because sometimes what if there's a disaster? How do you survive, and what do you know what's around you to eat? It's very important to know that. So even wherever you live, there is something that's medicinal, natural, and edible growing in the woods or in the park. And another thing I'm going to show you is fireweed. So hold on. So fireweed has this purple flower, and it grows very tall. Fireweed is really cool to have around bees. If you have bees, you want to have fireweed, because the fireweed is very medicinal and very good for your body. And so when you have bees go and pollinate on these flowers, it goes into the honey. And so there's a farm, there's a business that actually grows fireweed around their bees and harvests and make fireweed honey. But what I'm doing right now is I pulled the leaves off the stalk, and I'm going to go inside and do the fermentation process, and then talk about the drying cycle of these leaves. So I'm going to take 2 seconds and I'm going to pause, and then I'll be right back. So I'm back, you guys. What I did was I just put it in a colander, and I'm just going to make sure that I don't have any of the seed pods. These are the seed pods. We don't need them. I just need the leaves. And it's a simple process of bruising. You want to bruise the leaves really hard. So I'm going to be sitting there and I'm going to be twisting just like this to release and oxidize the leaves. So I'm bruising the leaves. I'm really squeezing and twisting real hard. And I'm going to do that, and what that does, it allows the leaf to oxidize and actually start to ferment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it on a baking sheet and just let it dry naturally. Now, if you don't have the patience to let it dry naturally, you can put it in your oven at the lowest temperature, say 150, and do that. So this is what I'm doing, bruising it, and then I'm making sure I get all the pods out. I just want the leaves. What am I doing with fireweed? Fireweed leaves are very good teas, and it's really good for inflammation. I don't know if you guys have noticed that I've been harvesting a lot of anti-inflammatory type plants that are medicinally it's just available to us. Instead of taking medicine, I actually use a lot of this stuff, especially in the winter when the cold starts and my joints, my arthritis. I have advanced stage of arthritis. So I use these as teas to help with my inflammation and to help with my arthritic pain. But they're not just for inflammation only. There's so much about fireweed that I can tell you about. But when you take the tea tastes kind of like a pineapple taste. But it's just like any other, when it dries, it's going to look just like any other black tea. So it's going to be a dark leaf, and I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to mix it with my plantain. My plantain is already dried up, so I'm going to make a mixture, a combination tea. But I want to show you guys what I've done in preparation for sustainability. I've actually started, and I harvest the foxtail. I have my feverfew, and I have this is lovage that I did a tincture with, and this I need to turn. So I just turn it once in a while. You go into the cupboard and turn it. But this is tincture of plantain, and you can see July 2020 is when I started it. And then I have my stinging nettle roots. The root themselves is more potent, but the stinging nettle is also anti-inflammatory. So I have my entire cupboard of medicinal stuff getting ready for my... And I know this is a mess, but I really like it, the process. So this is now going to ferment, and it's going to dry, and I can smell it. And it smells... You know, I don't know. I can't tell. When I smell it, it's like it immediately goes down to my stomach, my gut, and it's a soft, relaxing feeling that I get once it goes through my nose. And I want to talk to you guys about that, about aromatherapy and what it does. When you smell something, it goes immediately in through your lymphatic nodes. And that's where the emotions are. And so when you smell something, you have a feeling. It bypasses the thinking portion of your brain, so it goes right to the emotional portion, the limbic portion of your brain. And so I use a lot of the aromatherapy. So with this tea, I also harvest some smelling fragrant roses. So I'm going to put that in there with it. So when I make my little mixture, I will also do a video of that. So I hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any questions about how to use fireweed, I would love to share that with you. Take care.